Hi, welcome back. This is week 4, video number 3. In this video, we're going to be working through some in-text citations. So if you can, grab a pen and some scrap paper so that you can actually work through the exercises as we go through them. You also probably want to have your cheat chart handy so that you can refer to it as you're working through the different problems. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you, whoops, here goes my screen. There we go. To imagine that you're reading an article that's written by Aubrey Graham that was published in 2019. You're on page 100, and on page 100 you read, quote, Niagara College students have been proven to be 60% more attractive than Mohawk College students. Using your scrap paper, write a sentence where you direct quote this material using the author's name. Pause the video now, and when you come back, we'll take a look at one of the possible answers. Okay, time to check your answer. You may have introduced the quote differently, which is fine. The example is, as Graham, 2019, notes, quote, Niagara College students have been proven to be 60% more attractive than Mohawk College students. Close the quotes, bracket P period, space 100, close the bracket, period. Let's try another. Imagine that you're reading a book that's written by Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton in 2020. You're on page number 78 and you read, quote, in 2018, students at Niagara College were abducted by aliens at least 100 times. Using your scrap paper, write a sentence where you direct quote this information, but this time, do not use the author's names. I'll give you a second, and on the next screen, we'll go over the answer. Okay, time to check your answer. Again, you may have introduced the quotation differently, which is completely fine. The example is, researchers claim that, quote, in 2018, students at Niagara College were abducted by aliens at least 100 times, unquote, bracket, Markle, ampersand, Middleton, comma, 2020, comma, P period space 78, close the bracket, period outside the bracket. Okay, try this one. Imagine that you're reading an article written by Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, Kim Kardashian, Oprah Winfrey, Salma Hayek, and Ariana Grande. The article was published in 2016. On page 55, you read, quote, the most common complaint of dental patients is anxiety when seeing the dentist. This anxiety can be extreme. Of patients surveyed, 30% complained of anxiety-induced dizziness at dental appointments. This time, I'm going to ask you to write a sentence where you direct quote part of the information. So not everything, just part of it, and use the author's names in your sentence. Pause the video and take a minute and work through this one. Okay, time to check your answer. And again, the way you introduce the quotation may vary. The example answer, though, is according to Swift et al., 2016, a study has shown that, quote, 30% complained of anxiety-induced dizziness at dental appointments, unquote. Bracket, P period space 55, close the bracket, period. Let's try another. Imagine that you're reading an article that's written by Harry Styles in 2018. On page 67, you read, quote, nursing students at Niagara College often suffer with stress-induced migraines. Write a sentence where you paraphrase this material. And remember, when you're paraphrasing, you're using the idea, but phrasing it in a different way. Use the author's name in your sentence. Pause the video now and give that one a try. Okay, time to check your answer. You may have paraphrased differently, which is perfectly fine. Stiles, 2018, asserts that migraines are a common disorder among Niagara College nursing students. Time to try another one. Imagine that you're reading an article written by Kylie Jenner and Kanye West. They published the article in 2014. On page 99, you read, "There are 22 bones in the skull." Write a sentence where you paraphrase this information, but do not use the author's names in your sentence. Pause the video and give this one a try. Time to check your answer. Remember again, the way that you paraphrased may be different. Here's the example answer. The skull contains 22 bones. Bracket, Jenner, ampersand, West, comma, 2014. Here's our next example. Imagine that you're reading a book written by Ed Sheeran, Billie Eilish, Kane Brown, Luke Bryan, Travis Scott, Jason Derulo, and Katy Perry. The book was published in 2014. On page 64, you read, quote, "Diabetes is a disease in which your body either can't produce insulin or can't properly use the insulin it produces. Insulin is a hormone produced by your pancreas. Insulin's role is to regulate the amount of glucose, sugar, in the blood," unquote. Write a sentence where you paraphrase some of this information and use the author's names in your sentence. Pause the video and give this one a try. Time to check your answer. This is a very short paraphrase, but it still uses one of the ideas from the original. The pancreas is responsible for producing insulin. The in-text citation is Sheeran et al., 2014. Okay, now you've had a chance to work through some examples and get your fingers dirty with doing some APA in-text citations. If you work through all of these examples, you will be in a good position to work on the APA number 2 assignment. In our next video, I'm going to go over the requirements for the assignment. I'll talk to you then.